Well, taking them right off the track to come and talk to us is perhaps not the best preparation for the next race, but one driver that has allowed us to haul him up here is Dan Smith. Now, Dan, of course, you're from a famous racing family, aren't you? Dad Brian was hugely successful. I guess that's why you got into oval racing, Dan?
Yeah, I don't think if he weren't into it and weren't racing, I don't think I would have got into it. So, yeah, starts back then, really.
But from that introduction, you've been an evergreen presence on the short tracks up and down the UK in various formulas. You're out in the hot rods now, but of course you've dabbled in so many other things, Dan.
Yeah, well, I started in the youth rookie bangers back at Rye House and Bovingdon for Speedway actually got the track. And then once I got to the age where I was too old to do them, I moved on to lightning rods and stayed in them for 3-4 years, maybe more. And then I got a bit bored with them and fancied a change and tried Superstocks and stuck with them for about 3 years, and after a while I sort of decided they weren't quite for me and done something I'd always wanted to do, and that was a 2-litre hot rod.
And whatever you've raced in, Dan, you've always had a measure of success. You're one of those drivers that's always there or thereabouts. Do you now think you've found your racing home is the 2-litre hot rod that, you know, having tested virtually everything else out on track, is this the one?
Yeah, I mean, I love the hot rods. They're really good and fun to drive, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And I can't see, unless I can get big sponsorship, I'm never going to be able to afford to move to a national, which any person that's in a non-contact formula, that's always their dream to have a go at. But I don't think it's ever going to be feasible on a budget-wise that I'm going to be able to afford that. I'll get a lot of help from my dad. If it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be racing. He takes me to the meetings, helps me with the car, and does a lot of work on it. So it's a lot of credits down to my dad.
Now, of course, I remember your dad being very, very successful in stock rods, and that's why I guess I'm always a bit surprised that you didn't go down that route, Dan.
No, I mean, growing up around them, and it got to the stage where I was old enough to start a senior class, and me and my dad sat down and I said, what should we do? Because at the time he was still racing. If I'd done stock rods, it'd mean I'd find another way of getting a car to the track, and I like lightning rods, and he said, well, let's do lightning rods, it's something different, we'll give it a go.
Okay, so that's interesting. Now, something that you mentioned in the earlier part of our chat was how much support and help you get from your dad, but also that sponsorship really is crucial as well, and that, from a racing driver's point of view, can almost dictate what you're racing in, can't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. The sponsorship's a big thing, and I'm very lucky that when I was young and growing up, when my dad was racing, the group of friends I hung around with, Dave Polly, Terry and Danny Hahn, we all grew up together, and being in their line of work they do give me a great deal of help. If it weren't for their help as well, I would never be able to do it.
And you mentioned the fact growing up amongst the Huns, the Pollys, and names that are all well known in oval racing, their support beneficial. Also, I guess their camaraderie as mates as well.
Oh yeah, no, we give a lot of stick to each other, but we all take it back as much as we give it out as well. It's good. We all help each other out when we can. And I mean, the last week I've spent up at Dave Polly's helping prep his car for the show and stuff. So that's good.
And the show we're talking about being the Autosport International show, and you're always there on.
Yeah, I'm always there floating about.
Yeah, but actually that leads me into something else. Perhaps more so you than your dad in a way. You've developed into one of these mammoth characters, and I don't mean in terms of girth, but you know, you are an always smiling, always laughing character that the crowd love.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't see the point of coming and being arrogant as such. If I'm always up for a laugh, always smiling, and that's what the sport's all about. It's a great hobby. In the day, it is a hobby, and we're all working class people, and we've all got to go to work the next day, and we come here to enjoy ourselves. We all want to win, I want to win, but as long as I come away from it and I've enjoyed myself as well, and maybe not even if I haven't picked up a win, as long as I go home and think, yeah, I've had a good meeting, I've had a good laugh with some friends, I'm happy.
And something you say in there, as long as you've been out there, had a good time, whether you've won or not, is almost academic. One of the key nubs, if you like, of oval racing is, of course, the fact that you can get up in the morning, you can go racing, and you're back in your own bed the same night. Is that something that is very, very attractive to you? Unlike circuit racing, where you might be away for 3 or 4 days, this is short, sharp, fast, and very fast entertainment.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. Wimbledon's my home track. I live 30 minutes, 40 minutes away, so being a local track, it's ideal venue. But we do travel and get about, and it is nice to get home after a long day racing. And we have our speed weekends, and that's a great weekend away. And I do go and watch a lot as well, and watch the big meetings, Bristol meetings and stuff, bangers. So no, it's good to get about and have a good weekend or a good day, and then get home to your bed.
Now, just as we close this, and we thank you for your time, aspirations for the year ahead then? Do you want to be going out to South Africa to try and win that world title?
I would like to go. It's one of them things that everyone looks at and think, yeah, you'd love to have a go of it. But at the minute, I just won't be able to afford it. I mean, me and Dad trying to build a new car at the minute, and work hasn't been the best. So it's a case of doing that as and when we got the spare bit of money to put back into it to do, as well as trying to keep on top of the current car. So, but I've never travelled to Northern Ireland either, something I've always wanted to do. But it's just a case of the budget and fuel and just stuff that just can't seem to put ourselves out and think, right, we can afford to do it. It's just a case of we do that and maybe miss a lot more home meetings. So we try and sort of just keep it as much as we can at home.
And if I can press you, the new car that's being built, same as the existing or something new and revolutionary, Dan?
Nah, it's a Citroen Saxo. Got a few parts from Ludlow, they've helped us out a lot, which is now obviously Speedway Fabrications. But me and my dad are putting it together ourselves, a couple of our own ideas and things we've learnt and tried on the Nova.
Well, season 2012 beckons. You're out here at the very start of it, New Year's Day. Best of luck for the season ahead, and thanks for talking to us, Dan.
Thank you very much.
So Dan Smith then, 565 from the famous Smith family of racers, and Dad Brian very, very much still involved.